I don't remember who I am. I forgot who you were. In the chaos, this is where I stand. I am an echo of my past. Time flew.
Alright, what's going on today, you guys? So today we got something special going on for the Z. I'll tell you about it momentarily, but first let's get her uncovered and get on the road. Alright, what's going on today, you guys? So today we're taking the Z out. Gotta head over to a local shop right by my house. They actually do custom work, and I'm looking to get a roll cage put in this thing. My plan for this car is to build it for like track purposes. I also take it up in the canyons a lot, so I want the suspension and the chassis to be as rigid as possible for the best handling characteristics. So right now we're on our way up to the shop. It's over here, probably about 1.5 miles from my house, so it's not too far. We're gonna talk to the guy about getting the roll cage put in. Currently, right now, the car has a carbon fiber hood. I'm lowered on KW suspension. I'm about 3/4 of an inch to an inch lowered, so not too bad. It's not ridiculously low, but enough to give me good handling. I know it's been a while since I've actually been up on YouTube, but this whole coronavirus stuff has got everybody going kind of crazy, and I've actually been out of work for, I want to say, over 1.5 months now. I've been working on the car here and there. I got a few carbon fiber pieces put in. I had the center console all right here done in carbon fiber. My gauge pod overlays I actually have in carbon fiber, and the carbon fiber hood. I'll let you guys know when we get to the shop, and we'll talk soon. So basically, I was thinking about getting a full roll cage put in this thing. I want to keep it as factory as possible.
And we were talking doing the full roll cage, right?
Right.
You're doing more of like the track day, like road racing type stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. How much space we got back here? So depending on what we've got back in here, getting the main hoop in and get the main hoop up as far as we can. Then the bars that are going to come along the roof line here, same thing, where this is, there's usually just air pockets in here, and sometimes this is where the airbags are.
Right.
So if there's an airbag up along this roof line, we're going to want to take that. All that stuff's going to have to go. Again, these pillars would stay the same. We wouldn't really get into necessarily cutting here, but that bar is going to be running along here and then come down through here, kind of almost match the angle of this A-pillar for the most part.
Okay.
The window has to come out, and then we end up coming through the dash. The speaker's going to get deleted and or relocated or something, because that is essentially kind of in the area where that bar is going to end up dropping through. If you hit up on our Instagram, there's a Corvette that we did a while back, and I always go back to that one for a reference, because this one is actually, it's got more space than the Corvette, but a lot of the way the headliner and the panels and stuff are looking, it's taking up so much space. When we did the Corvette ended up being where almost the whole cage is hidden behind the panels.
As far as the rear strut bar, I've got my fire extinguisher mounted to that right now. I'll eventually,
this guy here?
Yeah, I'll eventually move that. Is that coming out, or is that staying in?
It could come out. It could probably stay in too. It doesn't look like it's going to really be in the way.
Okay.
See, I envision the main, like, if your seat's not going to move any further back.
No.
Okay. So the main hoop would be very close to, you know, we only want to be like within, you know, a couple inches away from this at the most. So the main hoop's going to have to travel up along this section here, but we don't want the, you know, see, this would be the bottom of the bar
Oh yeah.
Okay, if you picture that, well, your head's gonna be above that, and that's a no-no. So that means ideally, we want the bottom of the bar to basically be the bottom of this headliner, which means that's when we start cutting. And then we gotta see, because your deck lid's mounted here, so that's part of that. So we have to stay in front of this bracketry. But then you can see the roof line then joggle up. So there's probably gonna be some airspace in here that we could probably get up into. Then we're just trying to manage, like, okay, well, how can we make the interior look just as good and still be cutting into it? And a lot of times we're pretty successful at getting all those things back in and kind of designing it and laying it out.
Okay.
And that way.
All right, guys. So I just got done talking to Tony about getting the roll cage put in this thing. It's gonna be a lot more expensive than I thought it was gonna be, but that's okay. These guys really know what they're doing. So I really want to get this done. The only thing that's really worrying me is basically all the time that's going to have to go into it for fabrication and all the routing of the bars. And I'm basically going to have to come in here and take a whole bunch of the factory interior out for them to even go in and do what they need to do for this cage. I'm really looking forward to getting the cage put in this. For me, doing a lot of track and stuff like that with this car is going to be having me lean towards getting a cage, and that's my whole thought process on it. So I'm excited to get it done. Hopefully I can get it done here pretty soon, and I'll keep you guys updated with that. But in the meantime, I'm just going to focus on finishing the build for this. As far as performance parts, I need to get an oil cooler for this thing. I do notice going through the canyons a lot, my oil temperature seems to get pretty high, and especially now that it's getting hot outside and it's closer to the summertime, it's getting hot. So yesterday I took it up the canyon and my oil temp was up to like 240, 250. And that's pretty hot for this car. So I'm going to be looking into getting a Mishimoto thermostatic oil cooler for this and get that installed, and I'll upload a video for that. Anyways, I'll catch you guys on the next video, and as always, stay safe.